To thrive in the midst of change audio series. Video number 2. What's your style when it comes to change? By Zaheen Nanji. How different personalities deal with change. In today's session, we're going to talk about how different personalities deal with change. Human behavior is a subject that has been studied in depth since the turn of the last century. Psychologists have conducted a plethora of research about human behavior and have identified 4 basic personality types. You might have even had an assessment that categorized you as a combination of letters, such as the Myers Briggs or DISC profile. Some assessments even categorize the behaviors by referencing animals, colors, or types of ice cream. Identifying the 4 basic personalities. We are simply using these categories as a tool to better understand how we cope with stress. The 4 types are: the TakeCharge type, the people person, the steady, calm person, the process and procedure person. The TakeCharge type. The first type of person has a strong tendency to be a take-charge type and often the instigator of change. They like to be in charge, they move at a fast pace, and they are the first ones to suggest that we change things around here. They adapt to change as long as they are in charge. If they are not in charge of the change, they will often resist the change, argue vehemently about it, and can be the last one to support it. The people person. The second type are very personable. We call them people persons. They tend to have a positive outlook on life and may not be as bothered by procedural changes. They tend to adapt to the world around them. These people are also fast-paced, but focus more on people than they do on processes. Their biggest concern is how the change is going to affect their relationships. Maintaining relationships is more important to these types than the impact of the change. Of course, as you can imagine, this type of person needs to talk about the change, discuss it with, make sure that the change has minimal impact on their relationships. When a relationship has to change, these people have the most difficulty. The steady personality. All of us know someone who is really steady. They love routine. They move through life more like a sailboat than a jet ski. Their biggest concern about change is how it's going to affect their routine. They need more time to adjust. The difficulty about steady people is that they often do not express their discomfort with change, so it is easy to believe that they have adjusted. If you are one of the steady types, then you need more time to process, especially if it significantly disrupts your routine. If you are a steady person, you may feel more lost, vulnerable, and uncertain about change. You may even dig your heels in and be perceived as stubborn. The procedures person. And the last type we'll talk about is the person who focuses on tasks and procedures. They like knowing what the rules are and will follow the policy and procedures. They are sometimes described as the more serious type. They collect data and arrive at a conclusion in a very systematic way. Sudden changes, especially if they are not supported by rational thinking, are very difficult for this type. Their concern is how the change is going to impact them and their tried and true way of doing things. This type of person will think about change in a more scientific way. They want it to make very good sense and will want time to test the change before showing too much support. This week, pay attention to not just the change that you are going through, but how the change that others are going through impacts them. Resolve to be patient with yourself and with others as you navigate the course of change. Get the book, The Resilience Reflex. 8 Keys to Transforming Barriers into Success in Life and Business. Subscribe to our channel for more videos. Available on Amazon.